So who is here? Omar is here. Let's change to live chat away from the non-live chat, the other chat. Greetings back to Northern Ireland, Ian. Chen North Airguns is here. Rifleman Kremvastilla. Interesting. Simon Neep, Happy Little Fox, aka Benji, looking for orange things. Jiraj, DC, Alan, Rasher. Thanks, I know, but my name is never in green. Okay. Good evening, technical family, says just me. Are we live yet? Oh, it's just going live. That's it. Made its little buffer up. Here we go. So let's start with sterilization. With UVA, well, near UVA. Sterilization, scanning, just to deter all the bugs. We need that now because it's been the Isle of Man TT this week, which is the tourist trophy, which is full of people from other countries, which is just like the Ember Tattoo. It brings every disease in the known universe over to one little island all at once, which is excellent. So far, I think you can correct me in this. You can correct me. It's been a very eventful TT, but I don't think there have been any fatalities or major crashes. I could be wrong here. I've said that. Now that will mean you'll let me know if there have been terrible accidents. If there haven't been terrible accidents, if it's been a death-free year, this is a good result to the TT bikers and having had, hopefully, a safe TT. Any orange stuff? This label has a little bit of orange on it. It's got a little orange top to it. Other than that, there is a packet of fuses, but that's more yellow than orange. It's kind of orangey yellow. No, it's orange. Whether it will come across as orange, I don't know. It looks like pills. I mean, you could swallow one of these. It wouldn't do you. It would be quite hard to swallow, really. This is this 10mm, 10.3mm by 38mm Cartouches Fusibles by Legrand. Probably got for the multimeter because they were cheaper than the real thing, but who knows? Scruff Dog is here. Excellent. All that leather, it's just a bit weird. I mean, really, they just engulf themselves in leather. I get the feeling that it's an unofficial leather fetish event as well. Have you got a haircut? No. I do need a haircut. It's just all over the place. New Rock Boy, I have a question to ask Big Clive. What's the difference between time delay and quick blow fuses? The time delay fuses are better suited to loads with a high inrush current. That could be a capacitor charging with a huge surge of current, but it's most likely an inductive load like a transformer or a solenoid, where you don't want it to just blow instantly because they have a sort of peak of high current. So if you put, normally for electronic stuff, it will be a quick blow fuse to provide maximum protection, but there is a slight time lag. There's a sort of like a thermal inertia to the time delay fuses or slow blow fuses, just to allow for peaky loads. And if you use the wrong fuse, it can just risk damaging electronics a bit more. There is an orange power bank up there as well, yes. I've been charging all the power banks for the simple reason that I'll show you. A video about this has already been made. This is a chainsaw, little chainsaw I got a while ago. Safety guard, the normal chain bar comes out here with the chain it. And I got it a while ago because I was looking for one with a safety feature, because the one I featured in the video had no safety at all. It was very easy to pull the trigger while you were using it. Even when you didn't want it to be running, you'd be manhandling branches, and because it's held in one hand, it would suddenly go, "Rrr," and you'd be like, oh, get the other hand away from that quite quickly. I wonder how many people have had accidents as a result of that. They are putting safety switches in there. They're improving. But at the time I got this one, and it came with two very beefy batteries, both dead now, because I made that video 3 years ago and I didn't feature this at the time because I thought it's too close to making the last video. So I just left the batteries and didn't top them up. You need to top them up every so often. one of the pairs of cells, because it was parallel cells, one of them had failed and gone right down to zero, and it's got self-leakage now. If you charge it up, those two cells, just those two, self-discharge at a slow rate themselves, which indicates an internal short. That is featured in the video. Now, there's more to the fuses. There is a video just dedicated to them. High self-discharge rate, it's not super high, Ionosphere, but it is trickling down overnight by, say, 1/10 of a volt, which, you know, there's a stabilization, but it just keeps going all the way, and it will go to zero. What's the method of topping off one cell that's low and the rest of them? I have a pack that has a 3.5 volt cell and the rest are close to 4. Let me show you, Megavolt Meister. This is a TP4056 module with 2 crocodile clips attached that you can put across a rogue cell that is lower than the others, and you can top it up. I'd actually recommend, if that one's lower than the others, it's not going to reach, it's going to cut out earlier. The other ones, I'd charge this battery pack up to 4.2 volts. The first cell reaches 4.2 volts will terminate the charge, and then I'd just just leave this on, and it'll top that rogue cell up to 4.2 volts so they match. It sometimes happens particularly if water gets in, which is not great, but it will cause self-discharge of one cell due to the design of the circuit board. Not great. But you do wonder why some cells do go out. BMS should take care of that. It should, Chipmunk, but even the little batteries don't. Well, they do now, but they didn't have BMS. I've got one of each. I should make a video about that. Is a long-term product you forgot to give an update about? Oh, yes. Lots of things here that get buried in the gadget mountain and discovered later on. Sandy Fleming, I was wondering what caused you to start your channel. I was looking after my mum over here in the Isle of Man, and I thought, I was getting a bit bored because initially I couldn't put anything out because my mum spent some time over here, and because she had Alzheimer's, she was wandering around picking random stuff up. If I left electronic components around, she'd sweep them into her big bag that she had, and just with all the other shite that was in the bag. So it wasn't really practical. Craig, you can post a link to your first video on here. But once things had stabilised and we decided it's not a good idea bringing her over here because she didn't like it. She didn't like being away from her own home because this is a different house. After that, I decided, right, I'm getting bored. I need to set my bench up because I like tinkering and taking stuff to bits. So I put some shelving on the wall, shelving brackets, the twin slot ones. Got some of the long brackets for the bench and put it at a nice height. I matched the height of this table here. And because this is what I'm used to working at in the computer, it's about belly button height is the best way to describe it. Good to work at. And then I started to make the videos because I like watching technical videos on YouTube, so I thought I should return that. In the same way that I had the website that I put the projects up, I thought that was a good thing to do. So I just had the shelf above it, put a dedicated ledge in it, originally used a iPad, and then just recorded what I was doing when I was just taking stuff to bits and put them up. And it just evolved from that. Did you get your mum's house? Ralph got my mum's house. I do live in a gadget mountain, Rifleman. Sometimes it avalanches. It avalanched recently. Super Round Chat seems broken on my phone in portrait mode, Ritox. But the other type of fuse, and I've got a video dedicated to fuses. The other type of fuse, the other difference, let me just drag some out here. The glass fuses you're familiar with, and ceramic fuses. The difference in the glass and the ceramic is significant. The glass fuse is rated to break a fault current of about, say, it's bigger for the 1.25 inch there, the 32mm, but it's rated to break a fault current of about 35 amps. So it's really only suited to sort of low voltage stuff. As soon as you go to mains voltage, the short circuit currents will be much higher and it won't be able to break it in a glass fuse. The ceramic fuses are filled with sand and they can break like 1,500 amps for a 20 millimeter fuse and higher for a inch and a quarter, 32 millimeter fuse. Rasher, Craig Matthews subbed. Ah. Is it an interesting video? Chinese ceramic fuses are filled with fake sand. Chinese ceramic fuses have no sand. I've opened some. I'll put this back through. I'm going to end up fiddling with it until I break the leads off it. I did get a consignment of tat today. YouTube is painfully slow in Chrome. I've noticed Chrome recently, the Chromebook, there's been a slight delay between doing things, and sometimes the Chrome and the YouTube just suddenly slows down. I don't know if it's just this computer or it's just a general thing. It's probably because it's hard. It's an extra process to put the sand in. It's messy, and they just want to bang out the fuse as fast as possible. Time for a live reminder, Guns the Great. Indeed, there's a little, if you look in the progress bar, there is the little red dot that says live, and if it's not red and it is still live, you can click it and it goes from grey to red and it skips you along to the live bit. But as soon as you go near that bit, the volume also just pops out there and you may change the volume. It's just one of these little quirks. Maybe they slow Chrome to force you up to update. Monkey Man here. A bit suspicious that they may actually be wanting me to update, but the problem is finding the big screen Chromebooks. I mean, this is a 15.6 inch screen Chromebook. All the ones in the, like, I've looked in John Lewis last time I was across, they're all tiny screens. Chrome is memory hungry, thus needing a virtual memory as well. Ah. Chromebook, ooh, frogs. Well, initially I thought it was a good idea, and it was. I went through all the teething issues with Chromebooks of like difficulty printing or connecting to peripherals, but now it works really well. I'm used to the Chromebook now, and the one stumbling block that kept me using a PC on a regular basis. Well, the OpenSCAD kind of runs the PC, but also the printed circuit board design package I used. Now I'm thinking I really need to get my act together and do that thing where you transition from one piece of software to another and you have to learn it all over again, which is the boring bit. But I maybe have to start being all formal and using the Easy EDA, the online circuit board design program. Talking of which, I've not accepted GLCs. GLC PCB have been pestering for a long time to do promotions. They've made me a very generous offer, like lots of money. Still don't want to do it, to be honest. I just think it's better to keep it clean, but it would have been significant. I just don't want to commercialise my channel. Maybe they'll tempt me with the cash, I'm not really sure. How the cat's doing, Clive? Little Licorice was by today. Definitely, I would say at the very least, it's not Lucifer, what is it? It's Salem has been by, because he knows where the catnip is, and the catnip has been nibbled flush with a protective covering over it. It's got a inverted hanging plant basket over the top of a planter, and anywhere a leaf sticks through, it gets nibbled off. There are also paw prints where they've been trying to get their paw in to get more catnip. Definitely do it, says Evolution. Franco Walker says don't do it. Take the money, you're okay with you doing it. If I do it, I'll make sure it's interesting circuit boards. But now is not the right time because I've got the tattoo thing coming up. Take the money, but don't do it. Yeah. Here's the snag. Julian did it for a while. I don't know if he's still doing it. But he found that they started bossing him about too much. They started trying to basically use his channel as an advertising medium, so that's not great. I am the catnip pusher, the local kitty drug dealer. Catnip, if you planned it, they'll come, indeed. At least GLC, it is James Randolph, because to be fair, I do use them because their website is the better of the applications. I've used the other ones as well. I used to use PCB Cart, but the quality of circuit boards from them was sometimes bad, and when you're ordering thousands, that was a bit of an issue. Like whole batches that I couldn't use because they basically guillotined instead of routing the edge, and it was all ragged. And also, they'd routed, but with a blunt bit, and been trying to push it through with wobbly bearings, and you could see it had skipped all along it. And these were commercial circuit boards. I couldn't put them out because they were ugly. PCB Way, I've used PCB Way in the past, but they weren't as intuitive. They weren't as good for some reason. I've used them though. And Dirty PCBs, and I've used Seed Studio. Seed Studio always had a problem that their circuit boards always had little splashes during the process on the screen print transfer, the transparency. They splashed chemical or something on it, and you'd end up with the same defect screen printed in every single circuit board, or at least half of them. Catnip and human will grow in the same pot, but the catnip will take over. That catnip, I bought a pre-grown plant off eBay, just a small one, just packed in newspaper just to keep it all wet. And I planted it out, and it just took off. Weezer Box, I stick my paws in the catnips, as do all the local kitties. Are you ready for the Pulse? Russia's launched a new satellite killer. Yeah, we'll see what happens, Paul T. I was thinking about that recently. I was on HVAC Overtime last night, and afterwards we were talking about the satellites that are the swarm of satellites that SpaceX has been putting up. They're literally putting up satellites that are the size of this box. It's ridiculous how small they are. Solar panel, I think, on top, antennas on the bottom, and the stabilization stuff, and they're not designed for high data throughput. They're just designed for equipment that you want to just ping a little bit of data now and then, like the LoRa network. You just did an ad for them. Take the money. I know, Dirty Apron Boy. It's hard to avoid mentioning GLC PCB. I got asked what PCB company I used in a job interview. The reason they do that is just they wanted to know if you had ever designed a circuit board. The answer for me is them all, including some early on, before they really became popular, online ones, because my first circuit boards were manufactured by Strathclyde Circuits, which also manufactured them for Ferranti or Plessy. It was like big. They were expensive. You had to pay for the artwork to get done, and then the cost of the circuit boards was massive. In the big ones, it was about £20 per circuit board. And it was, once you committed, it's like, yeah, it was expensive, but it served its purpose at the time. SpaceX stuff, they've launched that big thing. We were discussing how do they get them through all these wee satellites, and the only solution I could think of is just to put bull bars on the spaceships so they just blitz all the satellites out of the way and go through them. GLC, PCB, a few private firms, ferric chloride, a few others. I have no preference. Indeed. Use whatever happens. Tom Houston, the ferric chloride, there is another approach you can use to that. Let me show you a weapon if you're going to do ferric chloride etching. It's pink. How fitting. This is a standard kitchen scrubber. You can use this side to clean the circuit boards before applying the transparency onto it, the film, the photosensitive film. And also you can use it to clean it afterwards. But also, this side here, the soft, spongy side, instead of getting a huge tank of ferric chloride, pour a small amount, put gloves on, pour a small amount into a bowl, hold the circuit board, dip this in the ferric chloride, and then rub it on the circuit board that's got the photoresist on it, and you will very quickly, because it's actively taking away the stuff that's etched already, It etches in no time. Honestly, if you've not tried it yet, the sponge dipped in ferric chloride, tiny amount of ferric chloride, and just rub over the circuit board. Make sure you do it evenly. It etches so fast, it's unbelievable. John, they use a sandmine with 400 grit paper. Have you tried making your own PCB without using a company, Artisan Cars? I used to make batches. In Glasgow, I still have a full-on Mega Electronics etch system, like a big, huge plumbed in, and it's plumbed into a water supply and drainage, and it's got the development tank, it's got the rinse tank, and it's got the etch tank. I used to make huge batches of circuit boards at home and drill them all by hand for custom projects and my Fairground Link controllers. Doesn't dissolve the sponge? No, it doesn't. It's not a solvent in that way. No, you don't want to drink it. You don't want to etch yourself, Josh Homan. I read that ferric chloride poses a low risk because it's a very acrid taste. So I tasted some and it's mouth puckering. It's really, really mouth puckering. You don't want to get that in your mouth. But it had to be done. Maybe I should make a video. This is what it tastes like. Just used a Sharpie. I've tried that in the past. Never really had major luck with the Sharpie as the etch resist. I had a mega dip, but the developer always goes off between uses. It does, the Elmonk, but you do get different developers. These days it's the calcium, no, it's sodium carbonate is the main developer I use. But the official developers, yeah, they didn't last long. It was a bit shit, actually. But the ferric chloride lasts forever. Oh, is it almost Liz time? Liz will turn up in time. Probably. Can you recover the copper? No. But if you use the copper chloride approach, that's the bright green liquid based on getting hydrochloric acid, is it? Is it hydrochloric? And you put some hydrogen peroxide in it and then dissolve copper, bits of scrap copper in it, and to start it, and that makes that green solution. They can recover the copper from that. In fact, the printed circuit board companies that use the copper chloride, they sell it on because it's very high purity. They sell it on to people who use it in chemical processes. I'm always tasting stuff, yeah. Super smooth beard, I love it. Opolinus. It is. Is it smooth? Is it really smooth? It's a bit rough and straggly at the moment. I bet carbonate chloride will etch even faster. I'm not really sure. Oh, I'm not going to put that in the car. I'm not going to put any etchant in the soda stream because that would be a disaster to everything. Ammonium perchlorate, not sure. If you're okay with PCB design software and getting your boards from the likes of JLC PCB is quick and easy, no association. Do you know one thing annoyed me a little bit? I put loads of files online, and initially I used to just name the files as I felt. I used to name them like copper side or like copper 2, copper 1. But it turns out they prefer a suffix. The file describer, they prefer specific codes for each layer of copper. And I looked in the web, looked up for these standard, saw them, matched that standard, and then they changed it, and it wouldn't work in their software anymore, their website anymore, because it wouldn't show you a preview because it didn't understand the outline image, so it wouldn't detect the size of your circuit board. Very annoying. It is time for a whiffle. Let me activate the whiffling zapper. The zapper is activated. The blue eucalyptus? Smells strange enough. It smells like dishwashing liquid. Yeah, could be eucalyptus. Eucalyptus. Let's whiffle. Whiffle. And another. Whiffle. The positive input pressure, and I've got a negative one in here, actually pulling air quite forcibly through the house now. Um, they were a bit cold in winter, but they're really nice now. It's so fresh in this house. Air is flowing through the house continually. I love it. Now, your deep, masculine voice is sharing your stream with my neighbours via subwoofer. This causes a problem, Narco, because sometimes Dolby, on my videos, some people occasionally say your video, this one was really super quiet, barely audible. And the answer is that they've got Dolby on their system and it thinks that my voice is bass and it puts it out to a middle speaker that isn't there, it's not connected. So you get a very faint noise out the other speakers. It's always been an issue with Dolby. I believe SpaceX is real, but I agree with Thunderfoot that Thunderfoot has strong opinions and sometimes is wrong with his stuff, but that's okay. That Elon will be bankrupt within a few years, maybe as few as 3. I doubt it. And if it does go bankrupt, he'll start again. That's his style. Did Clive's beard ever catch fire? No. Have we tested its electrical strength recently? Hold on. It's smoky. It's not catching fire. It's burning a bit. And it's gone a bit crispy at the end, and it smells like an insect has gone into the insecticutor. Maybe it needs a fire trim. One moment. Okay. Yeah, that's it trimmed. Perfect. Oh, it's all crispy and knobbly at the bottom now. Mr. Ekic, manly voice. Oh, really? Oh, gee. Well, it is Pride Month after all. When the media... It is stinky, but that's okay. There's good airflow, Sabertail. Don't set fire to your fursuit. Beard removal. It burned quite a lot there. Have you been dipping bit in boric acid? That's an experiment I could have done, wet wear error. I could have dipped it in boric acid and seen the combustibility of the beard when it's been dipped. It's shorter now. It's cleaned up all the straggly bits. It's Pride Month. Yes, apparently so, Mr. Eggcake. This is when you'll see when the media comes out and they present images of drag queens and hugely loud, attention-seeking voyeurs dressed in gimp suits and making an exhibition of themselves for the attention of the media. And the media says, this is what all homosexuals are like. They're all like that. They're not normal people at all. They're all gimps and drag queens. That's the media. And then religion will be like, they're all going to burn in hell. Okay. Better than fucking being in heaven with you arseholes. Yes. Elon Musk has invented Chagall. He's a bit of a modern Edison rasher, but he's got the motivation. He gets the technical people together that would otherwise have just been tinkering away in a shed somewhere and nothing would have happened. You have to take the whip to the savants and make them do stuff and get them all organised. It was funny, says Frogs. An engineering channel I watched had a rainbow lightning bolt shirt on and a commenter complained Pride was being shoved down his throat. Yes. Well, it'll make a change in the fact they probably had Willie shoved down their throat. Behind the scenes, that's just me being sensationalistic again. Anyway, things arrived today. With TV license officers, yeah, nothing that a blender wouldn't fix. A big blender. Whips and gimps, indeed. Gnome image manipulation program. I have to say, more Mouse is here. Mouse, I thought you were off for a barbecue. But the ones that, I have to say that Midjourney is amazing, but have the Microsoft one, Bing, is doing a pretty good job, actually. Doing very interesting things. I have to play with it. Anyway, things that arrived by post. From, not a sponsor, Chen Tianxia. How about just, if you're going to pack something like a chainsaw, like a little chainsaw, just cram it all in a box. Like really, don't bother trying to make nice foam insert or anything like that. Just cram it all literally in a box. Just everything, just bundle it all into a box. There's your battery, which is compatible with the other one. Let's try that out. Oh, I've dropped it. This one has the... Does this one have... No, it doesn't. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's got the auxiliary charging contact. The batteries that died, that look like this, but the double version, I reverse engineered the circuit board. It was very weird because this pin here, I don't know if they're trying to be Makita compatible, but normally the chip they used was normally, had a common positive, and you could either charge via the negative connection, because the dual MOSFETs, like the DW01 protection chips. But for some reason, they wanted the positive connection, so they made the negative common and used a level shifter to drive a MOSFET to the positive rail for charging it from the drive that was supposed to go to the negative rail. It was odd. Let me just grab that chainsaw. Is it going to fit? Oh, they've got standards. Yes. Well, that's that reincarnated then. Ugh, can I get the battery off it? No. There it comes. And it comes with the excruciatingly light. I mean, oh my God, it's air. It's literally filled with air. There's going to be a tiny little circuit board floating in there. Let's open it up. That's what we'll do. And there's the little charge port in this battery for charging it. Any light? No, no light. That's good. Anyway, I have to open this as well then, don't I? Does it have the connections there for that? Right, anyway, yeah, I'll open that as well. Frogs, happy Pride Month. These high ASCII characters pretty gay, yes. This one, the chainsaw itself, has a couple of new features that's a huge improvement. Firstly, you can't just pull the trigger. You have to push the button in and then pull the trigger, and as soon as you let go, that button clicks back out again. So it does have the safety feature, but it also has a chain oiler, but it's supplied with very runny oil. It's not normal chain oil. But to actually use it, you've got this primer that is used to just pump a wee bit of oil out onto the chain every so often. We'll open it. It has to be opened. And it comes with protective chainsaw gloves. Yeah, that's going to be a tight fit, isn't it? Yes. Seriously? It's like, that's just like most gloves for me. Anyway, another gadget arrived. Primer bulb is a great idea. It is quite unusual. Let me just package this back the way they clearly packaged it in the factory. And shut the lid and put some tape in it. Everything rattling around loose. They're for child labour, yes. The gloves look very thin. I think the idea is that it just basically it keeps all the shredded flesh together. I'm not really sure. Next gadget. Came with two of those batteries. I mean, they're very standard, aren't they? It came with another super light. Air, I mean, hold on, it's floating. No, I'm having to pull it down because it's floating away. Charger. And this one is quite interesting. Let me put a battery in it. I should charge these batteries before using them. I should open and look inside the batteries before using them. This is going to be loud. And inside, it's a blower. Inside, if we take this off, this back cap, because it can suck as well, there's a little foam insert here. And if we pull the foam insert out, it is a little dedicated centrifugal blower in there. Interesting. And I think this probably goes out under other brands. I'm trying to get the foam back in place. The foam is not going back in place. There it goes. And I'll put the suction thing back in. You can make a portable snow machine with this. It's so I'm guessing that these stickers must just be, they just slap them on just before it goes out, whatever brand it is, because they're just dangling off. But there we have it. It also has modes. Oh, it shows you the battery level, I think. And can you change the mode? No, it only shows you the power display. I think that's only battery. I thought mode was supposed to let you choose between power levels, but all it does is, no, it doesn't even, don't even think the battery's even fully charged. Anyway. I really would like to make one blowers like Matthias Wendell. Did he make the super tiny ones, Megavolt Meister, with the wee sort of jet blowers that they have for the models? Can it suck up whiffle juice? I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to run liquid through it. Do not stick willy in. I'm pretty sure that somebody will sell it with attachments for willies, yes. Because they do. It comes with loads of attachments. This one could be for small willies. Let me just, this one has actually got foam in there for all holding everything in position. I thought I was only getting one battery. Maybe if you order 1 or 2 batteries, they just send out 2 anyway, because it's a standard package. Or maybe somebody sent out the wrong one or something. Don't know. I'm always tempted. It comes with a wee tiny hose as well for like jet blowing. Yeah, odd. We shall explore, as we do. That isn't going back in again. Anyway, down goes the lid again in that. Except for that pipe sticking out there. Ugh. There, it's closed. Another stylish indication. There's the box, that's it. Okay. It does suck and blow for air mattresses, Stephen Kamen. It won't inflate things with high pressure, I don't think, but it does do with high airflow. I hear the Flex power tools are good for their cost. Well, Jonathan Hughes, I bought that original little handheld chainsaw because I thought it was quite novel. I ended up using it recently in anger, and it's just performed flawlessly. It's been great. Ridiculous. I might not say that when the chain snaps and takes a huge chunk of flesh out of my hand, but so far so good. 21-volt, the LiPo version, it goes up to 11. It is, Tom Houston, but it's not as bad as the other packs that said 388 volts. 18 to 388 volts. And then in small print it said auto adjusts, yes, to 18 volts. Check for used lithium-ion cells. The other one, they all looked new, but you don't know if they've been recovered. Certainly the block I took apart, let me grab it. The block I took apart, the one that had been over-discharged, the other cells are holding their charge, but I tested capacity and it came in at 1 amp hour. They're supposed to be 1,500 milliamp hour. Maybe they were at the beginning, or maybe they've always been 1,000 milliamp hour. But also I managed to liberate a bit of smoke while I was taking this apart. Oops, little moment. I was carefully nibbling the links, because you can't just separate the plastic, because the cells are put into the plastic frame and then spot welded afterwards. So I was carefully slicing the links, and also sliced through on the positive end, I sliced through the heat shrink round the metal case, the negative case, and shorted it briefly, and there was a little wisp of smoke came off. Panic! Remove snips. Free the smoke. It happens. So they can still dissipate quite a lot of power. Saw remaining cells of chainsaw. Could be interesting. Did the smoke just stop? No, it was just that wisp you get occasionally when you short something, and there's a little wisp. If it had been continuing, if I'd completely shorted something, yeah, it would have been evasive action time. It would have gone into the sink probably as the closest thing that I could throw it into. Because the explosion pie dish wasn't handy. Is Human Seagull here? Because he'll be helping with the technical side and the installation removal of the Bush's beer tent. Well, it's not a beer garden, it's a whole big event now. What happened to the explosion containment pie dish, coniferous? It's full of lithium cells. Can I give you a good shearing like a sheep? No, you can't. Don't throw it into water. The amount of lithium is small. When they talk about lithium cells exploding, it's the energy they store and not the lithium itself, because there's a very small amount that's diffused. Lithium, iron, cobalt, is it not? Not sure. And graphite and copper and aluminium, just a tiny smidge of actual lithium diffused into it. It doesn't take much. The clock in the back is 2 minutes ahead. Yes, it is, Rasher. I've been trying to nickel weld a battery pack together. The welds aren't sticking. Any suggestions? It's all so tricky, Simon Al. It's not just getting the right equipment to do it that properly measures the energy dissipated in the pulse, but it's also getting the knack of not blowing holes right through the case of the lithium cell, because if you do, you make a tiny imperceivable hole, it will just gradually vent its electrolyte out as vapor, and that's not great. It will just basically stop working. Lithium watches a mild reaction, not like potassium. Try explain that to gas and oil knuts. I did notice, Mr. Eggy, I saw a video of a recent fire where a sort of parking area underneath a condominium, whatever they call it in America, apartments, and there were about 5 cars all blazing on fire, and the fire brigade turn up and check out the situation. Then they start putting the fire out. But all the flats above are potentially being damaged in that time as well. And I went down to comments expecting people to say, well, that's electric cars for you. And then people were pointing out not one single one of those cars down there is electric. They're completely different brands to the electric ones. And it was pointed out by one of the people that was interviewed that they're not electric. But everybody's like, well, I'd never have an electric car because they just burst into flames. No, these were gasoline ones that were just totally going up. What's the most complicated equipment you've reverse engineered? That's tricky. Around Llewellyn. Not sure. I mean, complicated equipment full stop would be stuff that I've not reverse engineered because it would have been age, but just know what it was block to block. Condominium, surprised they don't call it condominium. We don't call them that over here, I don't really think. Funny how I had a 200 watt hour e-bike go up in smoke and not a single firefighter showed up. So many corners have been cut. It's like, do you remember when the hoverboards came out and they were so futuristic because they literally exploded in flames when you charged them, and there was just no battery management being used, or defects because they just slammed it all together. Greetings, Hagen P. And remember the Anki Vector robot. It's so sad Digital Dream Labs shut down, but it's still usable. I don't really know what that is. But keep in mind that Star Trek predicted this in the future because even the phasers could go into overload. Keep in mind you're storing massive amounts of power. We've basically got cordless tools that used to have a big cable on them that are as powerful as the corded ones, but all that energy is stored in a wee block at the bottom. So I think in the future, if anything, and this is something we should do right now, your batteries, particularly ones get abused and they go out in sight and they get dropped and they get exposed to moisture, you should charge them in dedicated metal, non-combustible areas, and they should be stored in metal cabinets like a mechanic's drawer or just metal filing cabinet or something like that. Anything that if they go on fire inside, it limits the amount of oxygen that can get to it to stop it igniting in the first place, and as it blows the electrolyte out, and also just keep your house safe from that. We need dedicated charging areas. Anyway, I'll put this down before it bursts into flames in my hand while I'm talking. Hatman, I took my chances with a Chinesium e-scooter. I'd guess that 90% of them, well, at least 90% are safe, but the other ones aren't, and then people also abuse them. The non-technical people that don't understand that if you've just taken a big divot out your battery pack or left a big huge dent in it or abused it, reminds me of some of the things that Lewis Rossman was doing to his that was off-label. From the same supplier, I got a totally non-compliant, probably, dual gang socket with USB. We'll take a look at that at some point in the future. There's so many things to take a look at, though. The patrons will know that my video buffer is actually getting quite big at the moment between making them and releasing them, and that's deliberate. It's because the tattoo's coming up and I have to have a huge reservoir because when I'm doing the load-in of the tattoo for weeks, I won't be able to make videos and I have to settle in. Whatever accommodation I've got, I'm going to have to improvise a studio. It's just difficult, particularly the hours I'm working. The live streams are not going to be on a fixed time during the tattoo because I can't guarantee it. They're going to have to be when they happen. They're just going to be random because last year it was difficult, very difficult. Check the 2 earth terminals are connected. They'll be checked for that, yes. I sorted the battery recycling bin at work on Thursday, says Dennis. This was after someone was caught carrying a folded thin film lipo in their back pocket to ask if they could dispose of them. No, don't fold them. I mean, no. They will deal with a lot of abuse, but you know, that's scary. Assume I'll be filling in as needed. It'd be good if you could, Scruff Dog, just because it's very difficult. It sounds like it's going to be a busy year with lots of stuff during the show itself as well. It sounds like it's going to be quite a task. It's going to have the most lights ever. It's like every year it's the most lights ever on the job. It's also the last year for the current artistic producer, the show producer who designs the show and chooses the acts. So the next year it'll be a different one. It'll be interesting. It's always interesting to see how they change. If they let you show your actual work, I'm sure would be fascinated, Frogs. During the load-in, I can only do short snippets of videos. So last year I released a string of short ones on Patreon only, but I didn't release them for general use because any with music from the show itself in them. Firstly, there's I can't show bits of the show before it's been released as such because that's confidentiality stuff. I signed an agreement to not share stuff like that. Also, anytime there's music, it screws it up. If I made a big compilation of all the video clips, the ones in music would just get it. The money would go to whoever owned the rights to that music, not the musicians, but the company that managed it. I don't think I'll be doing night shift. That was covered last year. um, but by others to leave us to do the work on the equipment during the day. But if I'd been doing the night shift, I could have done the live stream during the night shift behind the scenes when it was quieter, but I can't really do it during the day. France will lead us all into Armageddon. I don't know if it's France that will do that. Non-disclosure agreement, you pay off a porn star too? Yes. Run the music through a heavy filter so we can still hear it, but you'll sound like a robot. Yeah, they're wise to that, frogs. They catch even heavily modified music and pitch shifted music. Steve gives you martini, Mr. Egg Cake. Steve will be there this year, as far as I know. Waving his pants about, yes. My Sea Princess Clive, I don't like the 12-volt lithium batteries that use a massive pack of 18650 lots like AA batteries. I wonder what happens when they start to go wrong as cells short out. Well, to be honest, they shouldn't short out. It's kind of rare that a cell will just fail itself. It's usually when they've been abused. You're already doing night shift. Well, yeah, Frank, it's very hard. I have to break into the normal routine. The first parts of the load-in were there for about 8 o'clock in the morning, or 7, which is hellish for me because that's bedtime for me. But I get used to it. But then it goes to normal time, which my shift normally starts at 5 p.m. and goes on till midnight or beyond. That's my normal shift. Lee Stevenson, I fall asleep to you sometimes, Clive. I watched a South Main Auto video last night. I didn't get to the end. I conked out, as happens. And it was really annoying because I wanted to see what the fault was. I wanted to see him find the location of the earth bond that was causing an issue. That was causing loss of steering control in a car, which is just freaky. The steering wheel was just taking into its own life, and it was because the earth bond was failing, the voltage was varying. That's a bit odd. Can I just put elevator music over the videos to avoid music strike? That means all the dubbing of music over stuff. Can't really be bothered with all that stuff. Can an 18650 self-reverse polarity? They can. That's what happened on one of these packs. Because there were others in series with it, it won't do it on its own. But because there were others in series with it, as they'd gone down, the first ones to reach 0 actually got reverse charged. Are there ticks in the owl? Yeah. Ralph's cats are Rayman one. We've got a sheep farm field right behind where Ralph lives, and the cats go into it, so we have to check them for ticks all the time. Erico is very, very talented. It's very interesting watching his stuff. Will you be around your No, I won't. Can't really do that because it's full of technical stuff too, yo. And besides, I don't want people in my house. Jaeger time. It's almost Jaeger time. Coffee supply now at 64%. Monkey Man here. I've stopped drinking ground coffee. I still drink low strength instant coffee, but I've stopped because I was getting into a habit and I was drinking too much. And I think that may be an issue with the throat and the things that were happening recently, because I didn't realise just how much my coffee intake, to the point I was using the refillable pods and also the commercial pods, and I was just, every drink was a cup of coffee, which is not the correct thing to do. Let's have alcohol instead in this refillable pod. This is 2. Oh, that's tricky. Tricky. To the musicians and performers of the tattoo, because they do a tough job. They're so good. I'm not an expert in music or orchestration, but for so many people to be running to a time-coded click track live is actually a bit of anybody who's a musician, if you could imagine playing with about 1,000 performers at once, and they're all running in sync to a click track, that's just Major. Very major. Tattoo, you mean the Russian lesbians? Yeah, that'd be her job. What? Coniferous. Wonder how they're doing. You know something about EDM? EDM. Electronic drum machine comes to mind. I know it's not, though. Electronic dance music, that's what I'm thinking. I was listening to some CFAX Acid Crew last night. And another performer who was doing a live pre-sequence but mixing live. So basically it's just layering all the different pre-sequenced things. But part of his system went down in the middle of the show and he's just pretending as if nothing's going on, but really it is part of your equipment has just died. He did very well. He had another piece of equipment, the drum, and he was just other instruments. He patched them in and just put it up, so it's going thump, thump, thump in the background while he's pulling all the wires and then trying to work out what's not making a bad connection. Do more music, Clive, Mr. Eggcake. Yeah, I should get into that, but there's so much to do, so little time. I still hear Black and Gold Jam, Weasel Box. The Black and Gold is very good, yes. It's a good track. God, what is the name of that artist that did Black and Gold? What is that? Can't remember. I think it was Australian. What synth do you have? It is a Access Virus KC. Oh, there's Curious HVAC guy. Nobody spotted me sneaking in and actually taking your place last night, Bill. Congratulations on your new bebe. Sam Sparrow, that's who it was. I was thinking it was a bird. But a good track. I like that one. Oh, I was at a live organ recital and the console lost his presets. Watch him set up live in front of everyone was like watching a robot fast. Just fan plant, you go at turbo speed when something like that happens. When something goes wrong in the middle of a live performance, the time drags. Honestly, you go into turbo mode. Megavolt Meister, Purple Rain. I've not heard that in a while. Purple rain, purple rain. Yes. Bill's a daddy again. It's baby number 2, I believe. But what I'm quite impressed with recently was the dance choreography. It was in the Brits Awards of Jungle with that Back to 74. The choreography, they always do major dance choreography. I couldn't be a dancer. Just memorizing all those moves is just beyond my attention span. Topaz got a sequential circuits Prophet 600. There's a classic. Junko Massive, indeed. You would have one of my favourite videos of theirs is Busy Earning. Busy Earning, should I say. Watch the dancing on Busy Earning by Jungle. It's very impressive. One guy makes a mistake at one point because I analysed it. And he knows he made the mistake, but if you try and then do that move afterwards, it kind of shows more. So you just have to ride through that. It hurts the floor in a dance. Yes, probably bad for the ankles as well, Mr. Eggcake. Have you seen my TS100 tweezers I made? You mentioned them, I think, Fan Plant. Analog synth's very nice, but to be honest, the digital audio workstation DAW is the way to go because it reduces the risk of hum and you get most of those instruments in there. It's amazing how much process can be done in the software model computers because ultimately they can pretty much process video live, so music is nothing compared to that. Still a lot of work. Old school jungle booming in the motor today. Ah, I get your spin. Was you involved in Red Dwarf? No, sadly not, Jesper Hansen. Some other BBC sci-fi stuff, but not Red Dwarf. It would have been nice. Is an NBC stream planned in the near future? Not a stream, Andrew Roth. We're going to record them live. We're going to record them and then put them out afterwards, just in case of things. But we've got some MREs lined up. We may be doing it at Kevin's for a change because he has his own place now. Any mod want to push out the channel of a tramp living in a field, says Delta Mech down and out in Torrevieja. You can push that if you wish. So, the future, tramping, but actually maintaining an internet connection. Kind of important. More important than anything else. We were discussing that in the HVAC Overtime live stream, how really the future is ultimately, because of like population and because of people speculating in property, people can only afford a small place, and ultimately VR headset on, grab your drink, chill out in a much bigger space. When you're involved in Doctor Who, Admiral Rascals, the spin-off from Doctor Who, I was going to say Intergalactic Kitchen, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Shoebox Zoo. What was it again? It was Mission 2110. But then the robots we worked on, which were built by Millennium Effects, were then used in a Doctor Who episode. And I've done other stuff that was probably used in Doctor Who, but it's hard to say when your stuff gets used. I don't actually watch Doctor Who. Couldn't tell what it's like these days. What's that Elon Musk satellite system? Starlink. Fan plant. One of their main upload links is here on the Isle of Man. Probably because it's offshore. The J is now pronounced as a K. Torrevieja. Oh, okay. Did you say Kevin is his own place now, Graham Shaw? He and Nick have separated. Well, they've divorced, actually. And split apart in a semi-amicable manner. Now that young June is independent. He's a plumber now, so he's got his... That's the independence, so they've just moved apart. I think it had been brewing for a while. Once the Doctor Who spin-off Torchwood, that was another one. There were loads of different franchises, including Mission 2110, which was tied in. I'm not sure how it was supposed to be tied in, but Mission 2110, the two series of it were filmed on container ships, Maersk container ships, that were docked during a time that the oil price was so high that certain ships couldn't be used just for profitability reasons, viability reasons. It is a shame, but I think there's a relief that they're kind of done. Yes, since peeing in suitcase and vomiting in HR in bed, yes. He was very depressed for a while, very strangely depressed, Megabolt Meister. Much brighter now. Take your shirt off. No, Evans Yellow. The last time I did that, the stream disappeared. It must have detected pornography. I thought Nicola would have been the reason for no live NBC stream. No. Nicola's still welcome at the pub and at streams. Now Kevin is going to have all those bear hunters sniffing around him. I think he may have a new lady, Boobla, but it may be a sort of like boomerang effect, whatever they call it. Dunno. It threw the white balance off because my skin is so pale I am. The whitest honky in town, yes. Rebound, that's the one I had. Hand picture, a bit like a boomerang, but less violent. Claire's my beard inspiration. I now know what I must do. Do you know what my beard inspiration is? It's Tank Abbott. All I need to do to pass off as you is wear the baseball cap and the dark glasses. I'll try and remember that next time. And say inappropriate things like about holocausts and ethnic minorities. I thought ZZ Top, no, a bit cliched. Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott is a MMA fighter, but literally he's a big guy and just goes in with the fists flailing. It's like a proper fight. It's not one of those ones where they all just basically roll about and top each other and try and get into fancy moves. He just goes in and obliterates people. He's kind of old now, but he's still about, but he doesn't really get involved in fights now. Pleasingly violent. The fight with Tank Abbott didn't, no, not Tank Abbott, Kimbo Slice didn't go so well, but that's okay. Hold on. There's someone to drink a toast to. Kimbo Slice, who passed away some time ago, a heart problem. In different circumstances, if it had been a different social class, they'd probably have treated it faster. But anyway, Kimbo Slice. Also an excellent beard and also quite a violent fighter. If you look up Kimbo Slice, you'll find the, is he a bear? He's very bearish, Big Toe. Big Daddy died. Yes, Mr. Eggcake, but wasn't that some time ago? George the Animal Steel 2 eating turnbuckles. What? What comes to... there was Mark the Bear Smith, but there was also... Who was the guy called the Beast? Who was like a very meticulous, cause great pain type wrestler. He was also very bearish. Big Daddy Bear types, all dead. No, there's plenty of them still alive. Kimbo a few years ago, it was. Your badge is up the other way from last time. It's rotated. I had it diagonal, just to break the symmetry. This is one not by Mouse. It's by Rex, I think it is. And it does have a spacing between the two, as someone else noticed. The 3 and the 2. There is a line across here just because of the way it's been designed. My cat is chasing a green laser pointer. Keep in mind that's quite a bright laser. Just watch you don't zap your cat in the eyes. Mankind, Scruff Dog, indeed. Giant Haystacks was a bit of a bear too, yes. I liked Giant Haystacks. Fan Plans and electrician work with this called Big Daddy. Was he obesely fat? Eddie Hall, the Beast. No, it's a different one. There's called the Beast. But Eddie Hall, yes. It's quite funny watching those other things. Rex Garrald. That's Rex Garrod, Mr. Eggcake. That was the partner on The Secret Life of Machines. I'm building a relay-driven supercomputer display. I'm up to 20 relays so far. It's very noisy. It would be, Rudy B. Are you just using the capacitors charging with the changeover, the contacts, so they self-oscillate? I think, didn't Look Mum No Computer have something like that at this museum is not obsolete. Eddie Hall has gone into MMA. That'll be interesting to see what happens there. For UFC, Clay Guida was master for brawls. I prefer the brawlers, Peter Stevens. It's more of an entertaining fight. It's more primitive, really. It's just fists flailing, using brute force to smack each other's head. Doesn't seem very clever, really, in the long run, but makes great entertainment. Rudy B, I'm doing that. I saw one of Sam's old videos and used his design. He's got what looks like a more addressable supercomputer-ish display in there. I was looking at his recent video. When do we get a Look Mum No Computer Big Clive crossover? I'm not really sure, Hata Manon. Maybe I should contact Sam. Mouse just sought him, Hunkin. Excellent. Weasel box. Ah. Classic heel versus baby face, Haystacks versus Big Daddy. It was all fake. The Big Daddy who always won with his, and I was young at the time. Me and Ralph loved watching it. I think his favourite was Mick McManus. I thought it was real, but then that's wrestling, isn't it? That's how it works. Japan is a working relay computer on display. Amazing bit of kit, Paul Byerly, because that's what they sounded like the early days. A lot of the computerized fortune telling machines just made lots of clicking relay and flashing light noises to pretend they were computers. What do you think of the UV cleaners that can be installed inside the furnace feed? Bit controversial. They certainly clear the air in the furnace feed, but they're UVC tubes. Clive, can green laser wreck infrared motion sensors? Not, it could theoretically, because there's a very high amount of infrared goes out with that, but I don't really know. They were. I don't know if they'll trigger them or not. It's a different wavelength. I don't know if they could damage them. Hulk Hogan gets the Wrestling Acting Award, indeed. Child of random crap. I'm going to visit photonic induction at some point. The 20 kilowatt lamp from. Ah. Yeah, Star Trek has always been very watchable. Curious HVAC guy, alias Bill. I do go in bursts of watching little clips of the videos on YouTube. What do you think of the weakening magnetosphere due to the speeding up geomagnetic pole flip and the sun? See the whole truth? I'm not sure. I'm not really following that. Can we do anything about it? No. Drinky poos, Jack Attack? No. All the Jaeger minions have been consumed, and my weak drink is also consumed. Star Trek's real, isn't it? So, that history of Star Trek, it was originally funded by I Love Lucy, that actress who had made her money out of that series, and she kind of like went backed it. And it predates me. Really? That's an old series, Star Trek. It's pretty amazing. It's still going and still good. Fairly plausible as well. Your clock is off. It is, yes, frogs. It needs updated. It runs a wee bit fast. Lucille Ball, that's the one, Bob S. The amount of Jägermeisters is disappointing. Well, there's one every on the hour every hour, so it's still the correct number. There's been an extra one. I like Captain Picard. I do like Data. The Data is one of my favourite characters because I can empathise with Data being a bit logical. Lucille Ball was the first one to be filmed while preggers. Excellent, Weasel Box. Star Trek was the first one TV series to feature a black person. And then they went further. It was the first black and white kiss on Star Trek between God, what was her name again? Lieutenant Uhuru, was it? And I was going to say Commander Riker. He'd get all the girls, wouldn't he? And the bears, to be honest. But yes, Kirk, Captain Kirk. Uhura, indeed. Wasn't the first black person, wasn't the first black kiss? No, am I wrong then, Francisco? Was that misinformation? Nichelle Nichols, yes. Sadly no longer with us. Oh, they say it was a British show, the first interracial kiss. Oh, right, I wonder what that was. Interesting. Jamie is quite a good character. Can't break the Prime Directive button, almost every episode does. And will kill anyone who stops her from getting coffee, indeed. There was a series about a black nurse that preceded Star Trek. Ah, Crow T Robot. Interesting. Kiss should have been Spock and Uhura, but still Shatner, but Bill Shatner and Fiend. Oh, right, okay. Because that would have been like the first ethnic and alien kiss. Uh, Spock doesn't strike me as being a kisser, mind you. We come in peace, shoot to kill, indeed. We come in peace, shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill. There's Klingons on the starboard bow, scrape 'em off, Jim. Indeed. That hit the charts more than one time. Ah. So, it's all degenerated into Star Trek actors being pervs and kissing now. Yes, Clodfish. Why was Uhura crying because William Shatner? I see. The universe. Yeah, that was quite good, that song. Your supercomputer is very Borg Cube. It is Borg Cube-ish, yes. The Borgs, they're an interesting thing. Would you be assimilated just to gain access to that knowledge? Maybe. Quite useful. Sauerkraut. Hey ho, Clive, second time only I ever catched your live stream. They're kind of every second week at the moment, but the alternating with public and Patreon. Leaving me much more time on the Thursday. I'm terrible at fitting a live stream and making videos, so it leaves me an extra day to make videos on the Thursday, which I do. I've been productive. The patrons are probably getting sick of the number of videos that are actually going out at the moment. Oh, not another one. Yes. 7 of 9. I like the one where she discovers Cheesecake Rasher. Very good character, 7 of 9. But once you get the knowledge it wouldn't be used to, it wouldn't matter anymore. I'm not so sure about that. Don't fancy all the implants much in case you got a bit of a rash, a bit of skin reaction. The hand is more or less getting, it's not bad now. That was just a huge wall of rash. Basically, a little burn here spread out, just irritated it, and a wall of red preceded it like a shockwave going across the skin. Not, but to the best of my knowledge, not ringworm, which is a fungus, but I think it was discoid eczema. Horrible. And the magic cream that did it in the end that actually calmed it down, maybe it's just coincidence. I was looking at all the options, and it was Ionosphere with the hydrocortisone cream because it's a very sticky cream and stayed in place. That calmed it down instantly and had a really profound effect. I don't know if it's just coincidence. I was just trying everything. Maybe that I shouldn't have done that. But I've had it for a while. My dad's ringworm, says Mr. Eggcake. I wish they wouldn't call it worm because it's not a worm, it's a fungal thing. Ring piece worm, yes. Evolution, that's correct. Dick Spanner, Clive. What? Imagine never being able to be alone. Yeah, that is. I didn't think about that. The fact that your knowledge, everything you were thinking about. What if you had like horny thoughts? Maybe that's all they do. Maybe that's how you beat the Borg. Is just show them a picture of a sex bits, and then they all get corrupted. I believe in silver gel and everything. I'm not sure if I can get that stuff here. Fan plant. Silver is a natural antibacterial and has slight antifungal. Copper is antifungal as well. Oh, was it? Oh, no, it was the doctor inside 7-9's body trying cheesecake, not really herself. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see the whole episode. Anus oil, gay lubricant. Well, I'm not sure this would be good lubricant. No. Isn't hydrocortisone a steroid? Yes. That could be pretty powerful to calm stuff down. Yes, indeed. Silver, best natural conductor. Is silver the best, most conductive one, or is it gold? Can't remember. Don't drink copper sulfate. No, don't drink copper sulfate, Brian Cox. 6 minutes to scruff, just so you know, countdown. You remember when the Borg took over the Ferengi and no one cared? I don't remember any of these things. I've only seen snippets. Door plates hospitals always used to be brass because of the copper content. And that they were coming out, they were reinventing that with like copper plated door handles or silver door handles and presenting it during the pandemic. So much stuff was just pushed. And it's everywhere. You go into elevators now and there's still these little units in the ceiling that, hey, we're fighting COVID. And it's basically a little ionizer in a box. And there's people selling the stuff off they bought online to try and make a fortune out of the pandemic. And they're selling it at the price that it's not cheap. And like in the UK, they're selling these little modules that were supposed to be installed in air conditioning equipment. They're just the shit that I get off eBay. But they're selling them at astronomical prices for a 120 volt version, which is not going to happen. Molten silver, better sure that would kill everything, yes. Gold is less conductive but doesn't oxidize. Each has their own advantage. What voltage in ionizers? 12. That's more than enough, Craig Matthews. It's usually about 4,000 volts, typically, I think. But the voltage will vary on how easy it is to ionize the air, how much charge in it already. I was trying to engineer and sell mask UVC LEDs and it never picked up by investors. That's probably because it wouldn't have worked, frogs. Someone did sell a unit and they tried to get me to promote it, and other companies were trying to get me to promote things as well, which was not happening because it was just totally unproven technology. They were making bold claims, but their mask had a little vortex. The air would go in as you breathed, it spiraled it round and past a UVC LED. It wouldn't have been effective. I mean, it would have done virtually nothing. The airflow past that, they just thought as long as air passes near a UVC LED, then that will sterilize it. No, it has to be there for enough time to be sterilized. It was so fake. And what was the other one? It was something, and they were making such bold claims. It was all fake, utterly fake. I wouldn't have entertained it at all. Silver is a great thermal conductivity. Now, what they get, I've mentioned this before, the solar pool floaters that have a solar panel on top, and they have a stainless steel spiral electrode, and then in the middle is a core that you can replace by screwing in. And the middle core is made of a mixture of copper and silver, and it gradually, with the electrolytic action, it slowly dissolves it into the water and keeps the bacteria and fungus at bay. Keeps it mold-free, theoretically. Project for you, Clive. You design circuit boards of flashing lights that simulates the dance floor from Saturday Night Fever. Dealer. Pretty much you can get all that already if you want to make a full-size dance floor. They were often using things like, say for instance, a mode matrix. Was it pulsar mode? Made the matrix controller for the dance floors that you could chase backwards and forwards and up and down. But they also displayed patterns which may have been diode matrices. Very sexy 90-year-old, says Mr. Eggcake. What? Ugh. The smell of piss permeates my mind. Are you ready for woofles? But keep in mind if you're making an ionizer, well, that project is coming out. The patrons know about it already. They've seen the project. It's great. It's a 3D printable, or you can just use a standard case. It's an ionizer. It works really well. And it's universal voltage. 110, well, 100 volts up to 240. Woofling, and uses a cheap Chinese module. Woofle. Woofle. I'm gonna sneeze now. Sneezed. Oh, make sure there's no mucus dangling out. And another whiffle to sterilise the sneeze. It probably caused the sneeze. Whiffle. By creating hydrocarbon smoke. Yeah. It has discoloured the place quite notably. Gesundheit, indeed, sauerkraut. Almost black roofing, indeed, Olive. I was actually up on the roof again because it's been problematic. This roof needs replaced. Just kind of like it's the problem of getting reputable Manx tradesmen who aren't going to basically just rip you off or do shit work. The carbon particles make me sneeze, yes, indeed, Chipmunk. Yes, James Randolph, landlord, what's that? Are you a smoker? Clive defines smoker, yes. Paint the ceiling black, yes, or just redo it completely. You're welcome, Liz. Do you have a high pressure sodium lamp? Yes, and a low pressure sodium lamp. And metal halide. And Zappy handy to demonstrate an effect found. This isn't just documenting the web, sorry about spam, just want to show you something cool. No, not sure that is. Are you talking about using high frequency, high voltage? And many lamps will act like a little plasma globe, like tungsten lamps do it. It has seen many woofles. Where did you study, says Mr. Eggcake. I started my apprenticeship after school with an electrical engineering company. There's a video about the actual company. It's called Men of Steel. Men of Stiell. You'll find that in Vimeo, Men of Steel. And it's the history of the company, quite an odd, interesting company. I couldn't have asked for a better company to serve my apprenticeship with. Very family-ish company, very good company. But during that time, I went to what was called Motherwell Tech, the technical college, and was taught electrical theory on day release. Like part of the year, you'd go 1 day a week to that, which I absolutely fucking loved. Best was that if it was on a Friday or a Monday, it was like a long weekend for me because I couldn't get enough college. It was great, and taught by ex-industrial electricians who really knew their stuff. It was really good. Rice powder, Eddie Munster. There's rice powder down here. No, it's not. I've tidied all those away. It's not down here at the moment. Anyway, it's actually gone past scruff time, so Scruff will be waiting patiently for me to finally hand over the reins of the stream. So let's hand over to Scruff now. I shall be back for a quiet Patreon stream next week. Remember, it's only $1 or like $1 or $2 to become a patron. That gets you extra streams and early access and other stuff. And then let's see. Yeah, so there's a few more streams before the 2 starts. Not sure the exact dates for that starting, but it'll be a quiet Patreon stream next week, which is super relaxed. The chat's so slow, it's very relaxing. And then the following week will be the normal busy stream like this one, which is still quieter than it used to be, which is very manageable. But right now, it is time to hand it over to Scruff. So take care, have fun, and I shall see you on the next stream.